After forming our alliance, we began working in complete secrecy. Kenji was our most valuable asset. He still enjoyed Takeshi's complete trust and could access information we could only dream of obtaining. In the first week, he provided us with information about the family's daily operations, locations of secret warehouses, names of key partners, details about bank accounts. We were building a complete map of Takeshi's empire. But after 2 weeks, Kenji came with information that changed everything. We met in a safe place, an apartment rented in a quiet neighborhood away from the family's eyes. Kenji looked tense, which was rare for him. "Something big is happening," he said as soon as he entered. "Takeshi is planning a huge deal, the biggest deal in the family's history." "What kind?" Yuki asked. "Drugs," Kenji answered. "A massive shipment of heroin coming from Myanmar through China. The value is estimated at 1 billion yen, about $10 million. I whistled in amazement. This was truly a massive deal. "But that's not all," Kenji continued. "The deal isn't with our usual suppliers. Takeshi is dealing with a Mexican cartel, the Sinaloa cartel. They want to expand into Asia, and Takeshi will be their local partner." "This is dangerous," I said. "Mexican cartels are known for their excessive violence. If they enter Tokyo..." "Exactly," Kenji said. "This will completely change the balance of power. Other Yakuza families won't accept this. A gang war might start in the streets." "When will the deal happen?" Yuki asked. "In 2 weeks, at Yokohama port. The shipment will arrive on a commercial cargo ship hidden in fake containers. The cartel's representatives will be there personally to complete the deal." I thought quickly. "This is our opportunity." Kenji looked at me. "What do you mean?" "If we want to bring down Takeshi, we must strike at the heart of his power, his money, and operations," I said. "This deal will be his biggest operation. If it fails, he'll lose money, he'll lose credibility with the cartel, and he'll appear weak before other families." "How do we make it fail?" Yuki asked. "We don't make it fail," I said with a smile. "The police will do that." Kenji understood immediately. "You want to inform the police?" "Not just any police," I said. "Takeshi has corrupt officers everywhere, but there's a special unit in the Japanese police, the Organized Crime Task Force, known for its integrity. If we inform them of the exact details of the deal, they'll raid it. But if we do that, Takeshi will know there's a traitor on the inside," Kenji said. "He'll start suspecting everyone, including me." "Not if we do it smartly," Yuki said. "We can make it look like one of Takeshi's external partners sold him out. One of the Chinese dealers, or maybe one of the competitors from another family." Kenji thought for a moment, then nodded. "This could work, but we must be very careful. Any small mistake and we'll be discovered." "Then we start planning," I said. "We have 2 weeks. We need to know every detail about this deal, the exact location, timing, who will be there, how the drugs will be transported. Everything." Kenji nodded. "I'll get all the information. And I'll find a way to contact the Organized Crime Task Force," I said. "Anonymously, of course." "And I," Yuki said, "will make sure Takeshi doesn't suspect anything. I'll keep him occupied." I saw the pain in her eyes when she said that. She still had to play the role of Takeshi's girlfriend, the man who killed her family. I couldn't imagine how difficult that was. I extended my hand to the center of the group. "Together?" Yuki placed her hand over mine. Then Kenji placed his hand. "Together," they said. Chapter 2. Gathering Information. The following 2 weeks were among the most tense periods of my life. Every day I felt we were on the edge of discovery. Every look from Takeshi, every question from one of his men made me think they knew. But we managed to stay under the radar. Kenji was professional at acting. He continued doing his work as usual, showing no sign of the betrayal he was planning. And he provided us with detailed information about the deal. Location: Pier Number 7 at Yokohama Port, a lightly guarded industrial area. Timing: 2 a.m. next Friday, when activity at the port is at its lowest. Shipment: 200 kilograms of pure heroin, hidden in fake containers marked electronic spare parts. Attendees: Takeshi himself, Kenji, 10 of the family's best men, and 3 representatives of the Sinaloa cartel. Money: Takeshi will bring 1 billion yen in cash packed in bags. All the details were clear. Now I had to find a way to get this information to the police, but there was a problem. How do I contact the organized crime task force without revealing my identity? If they knew I was working with Takeshi, they might doubt my motives, and if the information somehow leaked to corrupt officers, they would tell Takeshi, and we would die. I decided to use an old but effective method, anonymous email. In an internet cafe, in a distant neighborhood, I created a temporary email account using a VPN network to hide my location. Then I searched for the official email of the Organized Crime Task Force. I wrote a long, detailed message containing all the information about the deal, but I also added additional details about some of Takeshi's other operations to prove my information was reliable. At the end of the message, I wrote, "I am someone from the inside, but I'm not ready to reveal my identity. Use this information wisely. If the raid succeeds, I will provide you with more information about Takeshi Asakura's corruption and his network of corrupt officials." I sent the message, then deleted the account and all traces of my digital presence. Now we just had to wait and hope the police would take the information seriously. Chapter 3: The Final Days. In the 3 days before the deal, Takeshi became more tense and cautious. He felt something was wrong, perhaps the instinct of a professional criminal, but he wasn't sure what it was. He doubled the guards around the offices, ordered a comprehensive check of all communications, and even began suspecting some of his close men. One evening, he summoned me to his office. I entered trying to appear calm, but my heart was pounding hard. "Sit down, Marwan," he said, his voice cold. I sat in front of his desk. He was looking at me with piercing eyes, as if trying to read my thoughts. "How are you finding work with us so far?" he asked. "Satisfactory," I answered. "I feel I'm providing value to the family." "You certainly are," he said. "Sato told me your legal advice has been very useful. Even Kenji, who didn't trust you at first, seems satisfied with your work. I'm grateful for the opportunity." He was silent for a moment, still staring at me. "You know, Marwan, in our world, trust is everything. Without trust, there is no loyalty, and without loyalty, there is no family." "I understand that." "Good," he said, "because I will test your loyalty very soon." I felt coldness run down my spine. "How?" "In the coming days, something important will happen. A big deal. I want you to be part of it. I will show you how much I trust you." I wasn't expecting this. "I'll be ready for anything you need." He smiled a cold smile. "I know you will be. But remember, if you're thinking of betraying me, if you have any foolish ideas, the end won't be quick and merciful." "I'm not thinking of betrayal," I said, hoping my voice sounded steady. "I owe you my life." "You certainly do, never forget that." He dismissed me and I left his office trembling. Was he suspecting me? Or was this just a normal test? When I met Yuki and Kenji that night, I told them about the conversation. "He's nervous," Kenji said, "but he always does this before big deals. He tests everyone, looking for any sign of weakness. We must be very careful in the coming days," Yuki said. "Any strange behavior, any change in conduct, and he'll know." "Did you send the message to the police?" Kenji asked. I nodded. 3 days ago, I didn't get a response, but that's expected. They won't respond to an anonymous message. "Then all we can do now is wait," Kenji said, "and hope they took the information seriously." "And if they didn't?" Yuki asked. "If the raid doesn't happen?" We all fell silent. We knew the answer. If the raid didn't happen, the deal would succeed and Takeshi would become more powerful than ever, and we would have to look for another way to bring him down if we stayed alive long enough. "We must succeed," I said firmly. "Failure is not an option." Chapter 4. The night of the raid. Friday night finally came. I was tense all day, barely able to eat or focus on anything. All I could think about was, will the police come? Did our plan work? At 11 p.m. Kenji came to me. "It's time. Takeshi wants you to come with us to the port." My heart almost stopped. I wasn't expecting to actually be there. I thought I would stay behind. "Why does he want me there?" "He said he wants you to see how big deals are conducted," Kenji answered. "Consider it part of your education." I had no choice but to agree. We rode in a convoy of 3 luxury black cars heading toward Yokohama. Takeshi was in the first car with Yuki and some of his guards. Kenji and I were in the second car and the rest of the men in the third car. During the trip, I tried to appear calm, but my mind was racing. What if the police don't come? What if this was all a trap to test me? What if... You're nervous, Kenji said quietly, barely audible over the engine noise. This is my first big deal to witness, I said. Don't worry, everything will go smoothly, he said, then added in a lower voice. Or it won't. Either way, we'll be ready. It was a coded message. He was telling me to be ready for anything. We arrived at the port at 1:30 a.m. The place was dark and quiet, with the sounds of waves hitting the pier and metal containers making creaking sounds in the wind. We stopped near pier number 7. There was a large truck waiting, its engine running, ready to transport the shipment as soon as it was loaded. Takeshi got out of his car, Yuki beside him. He was wearing an elegant black suit, carrying himself with complete confidence. He didn't look worried at all. A cargo ship approached the pier, its dim lights piercing the darkness. The ship was relatively small, the type used for private shipments. This is it, Takeshi said. Everything is going according to plan. The ship docked and its crew began unloading the containers. After a few minutes, another car appeared, also a luxury black car, but with Mexican plates. 3 men got out. They were wearing elegant Western clothes, but it was clear from their appearance they weren't ordinary businessmen. The tattoos on their hands and necks, the scars on their faces, they were professional fighters. One of them approached, a tall man with a thick mustache. Mr. Asakura? Yes, Takeshi replied. You're Ramirez? Myself, the man said with a heavy Spanish accent. Did you bring the money? Takeshi signaled to one of his men, who opened a car trunk to reveal 3 large bags. He opened one of them, revealing a huge pile of banknotes. Ramirez smiled. Excellent. And the merchandise is in that container. He pointed to one of the unloaded containers. Takeshi's men began inspecting the container, opening it carefully. Inside, there were wooden crates carefully wrapped. They opened one of them. Even from a distance, I could see the white plastic bags. The heroin. Everything as promised, one of Takeshi's men said. Good, Takeshi said, smiling. Then we have a deal. They began transferring the bags to the Mexicans, and the Mexicans began supervising the loading of containers into the truck. Everything was going too smoothly. Then suddenly the night exploded with lights. Chapter 5. The Raid. Powerful spotlights illuminated the entire pier, causing temporary blindness. I heard the sounds of police cars approaching rapidly from every direction, sirens deafening. Police, everyone on the ground, now! There were dozens of officers, maybe more than 50, surrounding us from all sides. Some were wearing official uniforms and others from special units wearing protective armor and carrying automatic weapons. Everyone froze for a moment. Then chaos erupted. Run! Ramirez shouted and pulled out his gun. He fired at one of the officers, and suddenly the port turned into a war zone. Gunfire rang out in every direction and everyone was running, looking for cover. I ducked behind one of the cars, my heart racing madly. This was worse than I had imagined. I wasn't expecting the raid to turn into a gunfight. I saw Kenji hiding behind another car, his gun in his hand, but he wasn't firing. He was looking at me, his eyes saying, "Stay calm, stick to the plan." I saw Yuki trying to reach better cover and Takeshi beside her shouting orders to his men. "Kill anyone who approaches, we don't surrender." His men began resisting fiercely, exchanging fire with the police. The Mexicans were also fighting, refusing to surrender. But it was clear the police were well prepared. They had the numbers and organization. Slowly they began encircling the area more, tightening the noose. I saw one of Takeshi's men fall injured, then another. The Mexicans also began falling one after another. Ramirez, the tall Mexican, was still fighting fiercely. But in a moment of distraction, a bullet hit his chest. He fell to his knees, then on his face, his blood seeping onto the pier floor. "We're surrounded," one of Takeshi's men shouted. "We must surrender." "No surrender," Takeshi shouted, his eyes wild. "We'll fight until—" But before he finished his sentence, a smoke grenade exploded near us. Then another, a third. The thick white smoke began filling the place, making visibility nearly impossible. I heard Kenji's voice near me whispering, "Now, move." He grabbed my arm and pulled me through the smoke. I could barely see anything, but he knew where to go. We reached the edge of the pier where small boats were docked. "Jump!" he ordered me. We jumped together into one of the boats, then I saw Yuki running toward us through the smoke, Takeshi right behind her. "Yuki," I called to her. She jumped into the boat, but Takeshi was moments behind her. He grabbed her arm and pulled her. "Where do you think you're going?" he shouted. "Let her go," I shouted. Takeshi turned and looked at me, and in his eyes I saw sudden realization. It was you." He raised his gun toward me. But before he could fire, Kenji shot him with his gun. The bullet hit Takeshi's shoulder. He fell to one knee but didn't drop the gun. "Traitor!" he shouted at Kenji. "You too!" "You killed my father," Kenji said coldly, pointing his gun directly at Takeshi's head. "It's time for reckoning." But before he could fire, Yuki jumped from the boat and ran toward Takeshi. She snatched the gun from his hand and pointed it at him. "No," she said to Kenji. "This is my right." Takeshi looked at her, blood seeping from his shoulder. "Yuki, why?" "Because you killed my family," she said, her voice cold as ice. "I am Yuki Asakura, daughter of Kazu Asakura, the man you killed and stole everything from." I saw shock on Takeshi's face. "No, it can't be. You died with your father. You thought so, but I survived and I came back, and I'm the one who will destroy you." The smoke was beginning to dissipate and the police were approaching. We didn't have time. "Yuki, we must go," I shouted. She hesitated, the gun still pointed at Takeshi. I saw the struggle in her eyes. She wanted to kill him, wanted revenge now. But in the end, she lowered the gun. "No, I'll make you suffer as I suffered. I'll make you live to see everything you built collapse." She threw the gun away and jumped into the boat. Kenji started the engine and we sped away from the pier, leaving Takeshi injured and alone amid the chaos. Behind us, I heard the police voices. I saw him there, the boss. "Everyone on the ground, surrender." I looked back and saw Takeshi surrounded by dozens of officers, their guns pointed at him. He was injured, tired, and defeated. Slowly, he raised his hands. It was the end of his reign. Chapter 6. Escape and Hiding. Kenji led us through the dark port canals, avoiding police patrols. He knew the area well. The family had been using these routes to smuggle illegal goods for years. After about half an hour, we reached a small abandoned pier on the other side of the port. Kenji stopped the boat and we climbed onto land. All three of us were exhausted, wet, shocked by what had happened. But we were alive. "We must hide," Kenji said. "The police will search for everyone who was there. Even if we were part of the plan, they'll want to interrogate us." "I have a place," Yuki said. "A safe apartment. No one knows about it. My father, who raised me, kept it for emergencies." "Are you sure it's safe?" I asked. "Sure, I haven't told anyone about it and I've never used it before." She led us through the streets of Yokohama, avoiding main roads. It was around 3 in the morning and the city was quiet. We finally reached an old building in a quiet residential neighborhood. We went up to the 4th floor. Yuki opened the apartment with a key she had hidden under the doormat. We entered. It was a small apartment with one bedroom, but it was clean and equipped with everything we needed. "We'll stay here until things calm down," Yuki said, closing the door behind us and putting on the chain. We sat in the living room, silent for moments, each of us trying to process what had happened. "We succeeded," Kenji finally said. "Takeshi is in police custody. The deal failed. His empire will collapse." "But will he be convicted?" I asked. "He has many powerful friends, judges, lawyers, corrupt officials. He might be able to get away." "Not if we use all the evidence we gathered," Yuki said. "The documents, the video, everything. We'll expose everything." "But how?" Kenji asked. "If we go to the police directly, they might kill us before we testify. Takeshi's friends are still out there." I thought for a moment. "The media. We must go to the media." They looked at me. "If we expose everything publicly through the press, television, the internet, Takeshi's friends won't be able to hide it," I continued. "Public pressure will force the authorities to truly hold him accountable." "But we must choose the journalists carefully," Yuki said. "They must be honest, brave, and willing to fight a battle against corruption." "I know someone," Kenji said. "An investigative journalist named Taniguchi. He's worked for years exposing Yakuza crimes. He almost got killed several times, but he never stopped. If we give him the story, he'll publish it. Then that's our plan." I said. We'll contact Taniguchi, give him all the evidence, tell him the whole story, and when it's published we'll go to the police, only the honest units, and testify officially. But what about our protection? Yuki asked. As soon as the story is published, we'll become targets. Not just from the remnants of the Asakura family, but from all the corrupt people we'll expose. We'll ask for witness protection, I said. A government protection program, new identities, new life. It's the only way to stay alive. They were silent, thinking about an uncertain future, leaving everything behind, starting over with different identities. I agree, Yuki finally said. I have nothing to lose anyway. The family I knew died long ago. It's time for a new beginning. Me too, Kenji said. After everything that happened, I can't go back to that life. I want a second chance. They looked at me. I came to Tokyo as an innocent tourist, I said with a bitter smile. And now I'm wanted by the police and Yakuza gangs. A new beginning sounds very good. We extended our hands together as we did when we formed the alliance. Together until the end, we said. Chapter 7, The Final Revelation. In the following 2 days, we worked on organizing all the evidence. We gathered the documents, photos, videos, and wrote detailed testimonies about everything from Takeshi's murder of Kazu and Hiroshi Asakura to the corruption network he built, to his murder of Kenji's father and prosecutor Takahashi. On the 3rd day, Kenji contacted journalist Taniguchi. We arranged a meeting in a secret location. Taniguchi was a man in his 50s, thin, wearing thick glasses and carrying an old laptop bag. But his eyes were sharp, intelligent, hungry for truth. Kenji, he said when he saw him, I wasn't expecting to hear from you again, especially after what happened at the port. Things have changed, Kenji said. We have a story for you, the biggest story of your life. We sat with him for hours, telling him everything. We guided him through the documents, showed him the videos, told him the precise details. I saw his face change as he listened, from doubt to shock to anger. When we finished, he remained silent for long minutes. This is bigger than anything I imagined, he finally said. If I publish this, the entire system will shake. Judges, politicians, senior police officers, they'll all fall. That's exactly what we want, Yuki said. But you must understand the risks, Taniguchi said. Once this is published, you'll be targets. Every powerful, corrupt person in this country will want your heads. We know, I said. That's why we'll request witness protection as soon as the story is published. Taniguchi nodded. I'll publish this, but I'll need a few days to verify everything, to make sure every part of the story is irrefutably documented. There can't be any loophole they can use to discredit you or deny it. Take the time you need, Kenji said. But don't take too long. Every day we stay hidden is a day they might discover us. I understand. I'll work as quickly as possible. Taniguchi left with a copy of all the evidence, leaving us to wait. The next 4 days were among the longest days of my life. We stayed in the apartment, only going out for absolute necessities. We watched the news constantly. The port raid story was everywhere. Takeshi and 10 of his men were arrested. 5 of his men were killed in the firefight, in addition to the 3 Mexicans. The police seized 200 kilograms of heroin and 1 billion yen in cash. It was the biggest operation against the Yakuza in recent years. But the media coverage was saying that Takeshi would only face charges of drug possession and distribution. Nothing was mentioned about the corruption network, murder, money laundering. His powerful lawyers were already working to reduce the charges. If Taniguchi doesn't publish the story soon, Takeshi will be able to get away with a light sentence, Kenji said in frustration. But on the 5th day, what we were waiting for happened. Chapter 8, The Collapse of the Empire. We woke up that morning to Kenji's phone ringing. It was a message from Taniguchi. The story is being published now. Get ready. We opened the TV and computers. On the front page of Japan's largest investigative newspaper, the main headline was, "The Empire of Corruption, How Takeshi Asakura Built a Criminal Network with the Help of Judges, Politicians, and Policemen." The story was detailed, comprehensive, supported by documents and photos. Names of all the corrupt officials, details of bribes, testimonies from 3 witnesses from the inside. Our names weren't mentioned. But the most devastating part was the video. Taniguchi published it online, the video of Takeshi murdering prosecutor Takahashi. The video spread like wildfire. Within hours, millions of Japanese had watched it. Shock, anger, disgust, all these emotions filled social media. TV stations began covering the story around the clock. Anchors reading the documents aloud, analysts explaining the extent of corruption, politicians demanding immediate investigations. The names mentioned in the documents, the judges, police officers, politicians, began being summoned for investigation. Some resigned immediately, some tried to deny, but the evidence was damning. Within 3 days, many heads fell. The justice minister resigned, the Tokyo police chief was dismissed, 5 judges were suspended from work, dozens of officers were arrested. It was the biggest corruption scandal in modern Japanese history. And Takeshi, whose lawyers were trying to reduce the charges, now found himself facing charges of murder, money laundering, corruption, and organized crime. The potential penalty, life imprisonment, or even execution. A week after the story was published, we received a message from Taniguchi. It's time. The police are ready to protect you. A special, honest unit completely separate from the corrupt system. You can come out now. We took a deep breath. This was the moment we had been waiting for, but it was also the moment we would leave our old lives forever. We contacted the special unit and they arranged a safe meeting for us. That night we left the apartment for the last time, surrounded by tight security, and went to the special police headquarters. There we gave our official testimonies, signed countless papers, and began the process of entering the witness protection program. You'll get new identities, said the police officer in charge. New names, new birth dates, a completely new history. You'll be transferred to different cities. Unfortunately, you can't stay together, and you'll get continuous protection until all the trials are finished. The truth was bitter, but it was necessary. The night before our separation, we sat together for the last time in a safe room. Who would have thought, Kenji said, that the 3 of us, a broke foreigner, a broken girl, and a traitor, would succeed in bringing down one of Japan's most powerful men? We weren't alone, Yuki said. There was Yoshida, who told us the truth, and Taniguchi, who published the story, and all the victims who suffered at Takeshi's hands. But we were the ones who started all this, I said, and I'm proud of what we did. Despite all the fear, all the risks, all the pain, we raised cups of tea, the last simple thing we would share. To justice, Kenji said. To revenge, Yuki said. To the new beginning, I said. Then we drank, knowing that when we woke up in the morning we would be strangers to each other. New lives, new identities, new future. But we would always carry the memory of what we did together. How 3 broken people united and destroyed an empire built on betrayal and blood.